For well over 25 years, people have speculated one thing, and that is, what exactly is the One Piece? And I'm here to tell you today that I believe I figured it out. I believe the One Piece is a sing-along picture book. Now, before anyone gets mad or is confused, please allow me to make this video to explain to you why I think that is. In order to know what the One Piece is, we must know what it's not. Eiichiro Oda has repeatedly claimed that the One Piece is indeed a treasure. We also know that whatever it is, it's either ironic or comical, as shown in chapter 967. We see Roger's reaction to what the One Piece was, and his reaction was laughter. I believe what the One Piece is hinted towards by the name of the island it's trapped on, Laugh Tale. I believe the reason why it's called Laugh Tale is actually because the One Piece is a tale filled with laughter. I believe the One Piece is a sing-along picture book to the song Binks Sake. But I also believe one thing, that Binks Sake is the story of the Void Century, the 100 years that have been lost to time. I believe Binks Sake is about a man, a captain of a crew going around the seas and exploring the world to liberate it. I believe each verse of Binks Sake is telling the voyage of Joy Boy.
Gather up all of the crew, it's time to ship up Binks' brew. Sea wind blows to where, who knows, the waves will be our guide. Or across the ocean's tide, rays of sunshine far and wide. Birds they sing of cheerful things in circles passing by.
I believe this part of the song was talking about the beginning of Joy Boy's journey, of his voyage around the world. Gather up all of the crew, it's time to ship out Binks' brew. I believe Binks' brew in this context is supposed to be liberation. It's time to ship out liberation. But I believe when he did do this, when he freed islands and people, he did it completely out of circumstance, out of nowhere. Sea wind blows to where, who knows, the waves will be our guide. I believe this was supposed to represent how when he did liberate an island, he didn't set out to do it. It was just something on his journey.
Bid farewell to Weaver's Town, say so long to Port Renown. Sing a song, it won't be long before we're casting off. Cross the gold and silver seas, a salty spray puts us at ease. Day and night to our delight, the voyage never ends.
This would describe what happens after every island they save or liberate. They would party, they would sing a song, it won't be long before they are casting off. That party would then continue till their next journey. But despite that, I believe the third verse is where it gets real, where looking a bit more into it starts uncovering more secrets about the One Piece world that I don't think a lot of people have noticed.
Gather up all of the crew, it's time to ship out Binks' brew. Pirates we eternally are challenging the sea. With the waves to rest our heads, ship beneath us as our beds. Hoisted high upon the mast, our jolly Roger flies. Somewhere in the endless sky, stormy winds are blowing high. Waves are dancing, evening comes, it's time to sound the drums. But steady men and never fear, tomorrow's skies are always clear. So pound your feet and clap your hands till sunny days return.
I believe that this verse is describing Joy Boy's fight with Imu, since Imu backwards is Umi, and Umi is Japanese for ocean. What really caught my eye with this part of the verse, and why I believe that that's what it's describing, is pirates we eternally are challenging the sea. Now, of course, at the surface, that makes sense. Pirates would challenge the sea, since that's their mainland mode of transportation. But what if we went deeper with that? Joy Boy, or at least Nika, one of the two, were described to be the first pirate. And Imu is literally the sea. So if pirates eternally challenge the sea, and the sea always is defiant against devil fruits, and the main devil fruit that the Marines want, that they want to capture but they can't capture because it always evades them, is the Hito Hito no Mi Maronika, then what if, and I really do mean this, what if this part is actually describing Joy Boy fighting Emu because he's a pirate and pirates challenge the sea? But I believe this goes even further beyond on the next part of the song, and it actually is a bit darker than you may believe.
Gather up all of the crew, it's time to ship out Binks's brew. Wave goodbye, but don't you cry, our memories remain. Our days are but a passing dream, everlasting though they seem. Neath the moon we'll meet again, the wind's our lullaby.
I believe this verse is describing the aftermath of Joy Boy's fight with Emu, the death of his entire crew, with Joy Boy being the only one of his crew remaining. But I also believe that these were the final words that his crew shared with him. They told Joy Boy not to cry because they don't die, their memories remain. As told to us in Drum Island, no one really dies until they're forgotten. I like the idea that gather up all of the crew as a line can mean something completely different depending on when in the song you're at, as it would mean something completely different depending on when you're at in your pirate voyage. At the beginning, gather up all the crew would just mean assembling your pirate crew. The second verse would be assembling them up for a party. The third verse would be assembling up for battle, and the second to last verse would be assembling them to bury. But what would the last verse actually mean in the context for gather up all of the crew? Well, let's listen to it and I'll explain.
Gather up all of the crew, it's time to ship out Binks's brew. Sing a song and play along for all the oceans wide. After all is said and done, you'll end up a skeleton, so spread your tail from dawn till dusk upon these foamy seas.
I've had to re-record this part multiple times because despite of what I have written down on my notes and my script, I don't think even I've written something down to bring justice just how much I wholeheartedly believe in this theory, that I believe that the One Piece is a sing-along picture book to Binks Sake. Why Binks Sake though? Why this one song? Out of all of the songs in One Piece, or out of all of anything in One Piece, why a song? Well, simply put, because it made Roger laugh. Now, you might be wondering, well, hold on, why would that matter? Well, in the song, what is the main part of the song? Yo ho ho ho, ho 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 ho. I find that interesting considering the fact that the One Piece character who's affiliated with not only Luffy being one of the main parts of his crew that he wanted the most, but this One Piece character has done the Nika pose more times than Luffy. Brook's laugh is yo ho ho ho, which means, and I genuinely think this, I think Brook, besides him and Roger, are the only two people who know that that part of the song is supposed to be a laugh. I think he, Roger, and now Luffy are the only people who know that Binks Sake's main part of its entire song is laughter. And I also believe that that laugh was Joy Boy's original laugh. He used to laugh exactly like that. But why would this be so important to the world government? Well, it's the literal story of the Void Century. It's the story about a figure that they've wanted to keep secret for the longest time. But why would this matter to someone like Luffy? Well, think about it. Luffy's never been really one to read books, but a picture book that's a sing-along to a song that he knows very well, I think that would resonate with Luffy and would be honestly a really cool send-off to the story. And I think it even adds more momentous to Roger's reaction because, again, the manga doesn't have sound. So for all we know, him laughing could have just been him singing the song, the main part, yo ho 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 ho, with his entire chest. Or maybe he's laughing because the song about 4 pirates was about the first pirate. And it's also kind of ironic because even though this has been a secret that the world government wanted to keep, it's something commonly known for pirates around that era. Remember, Brook was from an era where Roger was considered a rookie, and Luffy's from the era where Roger's considered a legend. But why? Again, maybe because the song resonates with people so much that it would make sense that this is the One Piece, but I don't think you're convinced. Well, I have 2 reasons. Number 1, Luffy's always wanted a musician on his crew. Ever since chapter 2, one of the first few things Luffy has stated that he exactly wanted on his crew was a navigator, a cook, and a musician. Not only that, but Luffy's extremely connected to music. The one of few times where we see Luffy just by himself with no one else around him was in Skypiea, and we see him singing to himself in chapter 311, which the song is called the Moron Song. The fact that Luffy's first instinct when no one else around him can entertain him, or nothing in a situation can entertain him, his first thought is music. Not only that, but music's also connected to his 5th gear.
I can hear the drums of liberation!
But why a picture book? It could just be Big Sake, but why a picture book specifically? Well, this one's more of a stretch. Pun definitely 100% intended. This one's more of a stretch. But why I think it's a picture book is mainly connected to Kaido. Kaido is extremely connected to Joy Boy, even to the point where his name means Joy Boy. He said something about Luffy, not to Luffy, but about his Gear 5th. He comments it's something like out of a comic strip. Now, in some translations, it's more like picture book or child's book, but I think that sums up Joy Boy well enough. He is something out of a child's book. He is a legend, something that adults would tell children when they were enslaved, that Joy Boy will come and save them. Which is why I believe the One Piece is a sing-along tale of Big Sake, a tale filled with laughter. Or it's a taco. The One Piece definitely could be a taco, I'm not gonna lie.